Thank you, thank you. Great to see you all. Have a seat. Great to see you. Thanks so much. We appreciate everything that you all are doing. It's an honor to be here. It's great to be back in Sandestin. I remember years ago, before my wife and I even had kids, me dragging her over here to play golf and enjoying Northwest Florida. A little bit colder than we're used to, but we'll get through it. You know, we're proud of what Florida's been able to do with public safety. We're proud of what we've been able to do by being a law and order state, and you live it day to day, and I know you guys see it, but you really, I think, become appreciative when you go to other states. And so I was in Southern California last year, and I was talking to one of the police chiefs in one of the communities there in Southern California. How are things going? And he's like, well, things are going good, Governor, just all my police officers want to move to Florida now. And, you know, that probably wouldn't have been true 25 years ago. And some of it's because we're doing things right, some of it because they're not doing things right. And then the other thing that hit me when that Florida is synonymous with law and order is when I was recently in northern New Hampshire, and I have someone come up to me talking to me about how much they love Grady Judd from Polk County. I don't know if Grady's here, but there he is. So you know that what Florida's doing is really making a difference. So, but we talk about some of this stuff. We make light of some of it when we look at like California and some of the nonsense that goes on there. But this is really serious stuff. I mean, this impacts people's lives. What you guys have been able to do in Florida, what we've been able to do from a legislative perspective to maintain a strong line for public safety, that's saved lives. It's saved lives in every corner of this state. It's provided more opportunity for people to live and enjoy a free state of Florida than would have been if we'd have gone a different way. And so this is really, really important. And if you look around the country, the places that are losing population, a lot of these people come into Florida, but also going to Texas and Tennessee and other states, it's almost all states that have turned their back on law enforcement. Yes, high taxes, but you know, these states have always had high taxes. It's not like this is new, but yet what in the last 4 or 5 years has caused, yes, COVID was a driver, some of the education, but these are folks who are leaving areas that used to be really good, and they don't feel safe in their communities anymore. And so they come to Florida, and you can talk to realtors in every part of the state. They ask, why are you coming? And public safety is almost always one of the top issues that people bring up. So we've seen an experiment of what not to do. We've seen an experiment of what you should do in the state of Florida, and our crime rate is now at a 50-year low, which is great in and of itself, but especially when it's going up in so many of these other areas, that's when you know. Because we've done well in Florida for quite some time, but we had a period in this country where crime was declining pretty much everywhere. That's really changed in the last 5 or 10 years as different jurisdictions have embraced really, really bad policies. So we saw this with what was going on in other jurisdictions, particularly when had the riots of 2020. When you started to see movements to defund law enforcement, when basically people wore the uniform were not appreciated in a lot of these communities. So and then they enacted a lot of really soft on crime policies. So you're in a situation where they're cutting funding for your agency. They've enacted policies like no cash bail, so you go and arrest somebody and they get put right back on the street. So then you got to go and potentially risk your life to arrest the guy again when they commit another crime. And then if anything goes wrong, the politicians in the community are going to blame you and not blame the criminal. Well, that's not a very good situation. So, of course, it's just human nature. People want to leave those situations, but even the people that are staying on the job, you know, they are not going to be as forward as they would be if they had the backing of the people that are in office and the community. That's just human nature. So you've seen all this has been a perfect storm to see crime go up in many of these communities, and not just go up, but really hollow out a lot of areas that used to be really great in this country. And it's sad to see. I've seen it firsthand in a number of these jurisdictions. Many of you have seen it firsthand, and of course we've all read about it, we've all seen it on TV. So all this stuff matters. So we saw that happening in Florida. And we decided, well, one, for the summer of 2020, we never indulged in any of that nonsense. We got the legislature together and we passed protections against defunding law enforcement in Florida. I wasn't worried about the state government doing anything like that with our legislature, but you could have any city elect a handful of people on a city council to do dumb things. That can happen. Even at the county level, sometimes this stuff can happen. So we said we're not going to go down that road. We'll make sure the funding is there. And that really kneecapped that whole movement in the state of Florida. It was dead right there. But we also saw an opportunity. If they're going to be taking funding away from law enforcement, we're going to make sure that we're committed to funding in more ways than one. So we did 3 straight years, we did $1,000 bonuses for all sworn law enforcement in the state of Florida. Deputies, police officers, all the state law enforcement, and we did it to where we paid the taxes, so you actually took home $1,000. And look, the money is great, especially when you have rising prices like we've seen economically in the last few years in this country. But $1,000, it isn't like you're going to be able to live high on the hog with that. But I think what it was it just showed a token of our appreciation from the state level that we believe law enforcement's a noble calling, and we believe it's something that should be appreciated by the community. And so we were proud to do that and do that every year for the last 3 years. We also saw an opportunity, not just for people that were in these other jurisdictions that were not doing well, but also here in Florida, young people wanting or not wanting to go into law enforcement. We wanted to show that this is a good career choice. And so the $5,000 signing bonus, a lot of times when that's talked about publicly, it's talked about someone comes from New York or Illinois and they come here, and that's great, and that's part of it. But more of those bonuses have actually gone to young people who probably had options about what they wanted to do, and they decide to go into law enforcement, and so we do that as a token of our appreciation. And I think that's, you guys probably know better than me, but like 30 years ago, you couldn't, if there was a deputy position open, you would have a massive number of people that'd be applying. You don't have it now. I think we're in better shape than anywhere else because people are more likely to want to join in Florida, but you don't have the same, and I think it's because a lot of the young people have been told that somehow this isn't a good profession or what they see in the media. So we were really wanting to push back against that with having the $5,000 bonus apply, not just to out-of-state recruits, but to in-state recruits, somebody that's never been in law enforcement, they choose law enforcement, you can do. So this has been something that's been really, really positive. I've had people come up to me all in corners of this country thinking about potentially coming. You think about it, it's not that easy to just up and move across the country to Florida. I know a lot of people do it, but there's a lot of logistics that are involved. You have families that have kids in school. They have extended family in an area. So there's a lot of people, whoever is actually coming, there's a lot more that would like to, in a perfect world, just do it. And so I think this program has been something that's been very, very effective. So we wanted to come here today and just say that we are doubling down on our commitment to this bonus program. We're working with the legislature. It will be renewed again for this next fiscal year, hopefully at appropriate funding levels. We're working through all that, but I think that it's something that people in the legislature realize has been very, very effective. So we wanted to do that. I'll let you know we're going to be fighting for that. But then also, we've now reached the point where we've given out 4,000 of these bonuses at various levels of government, whether it's our sheriff's departments, our police departments, or whether it's state law enforcement agencies. And so I actually have the honor of being able to award this 4,000th recruitment bonus. And he's with us here today, Deputy Matthew Belthrop at the Bay County Sheriff's Department. He came from Virginia. Was recruited in, and I saw Tommy Ford a minute ago. Said he's a great addition to the sheriff's department there, and he picked a great community and a great county to be able to join. So here's your bonus check. Okay, go ahead and. So there you go. I'm sure we'll knock out another 4,000 here over the next year or so. So we're excited about it. And so since 2022, we have brought recruits in from every other of the 49 states, as well as 2 U.S. territories. And almost 400 of the 4,000 come from just 3 states: New York, California, and Illinois. You probably would have guessed that. So we're excited about the success of this program. We're thankful to have so many great people in this profession in the state of Florida. And I don't think it's even a question. If somebody just could wave a wand and say, where would I want to be in law enforcement of all 50 states, they would overwhelmingly choose the free state of Florida. And so, look, I think that's a testament to some of the work we've done, but I think a lot of it's a testament to the work that you all are doing. Final thing I'll say is we have coming up next month spring break in the state of Florida. We want to work with any local community that's concerned about it. I know it's not the same concern in every part of the state, but we've seen some of the things that have happened in other parts of Florida. I mean, we've seen things in Miami Beach. We have resources available. We want to work proactively with the local jurisdictions. Spring break is what it is, but it should not be impeding the functioning of businesses in the area. It should not be impacting the quality of life of our residents. Should certainly not create any type of a safety issue for anybody in any part of the state of Florida. And so you have our support at the state level to do what you need to do to ensure that the quality of life of your residents are maintained, that order in the streets is maintained, and that businesses are able to function appropriately like they should always have to do. And we stand by ready, willing, and able to be able to help you with that. So I hope you guys enjoy the conference. I'm happy to be here. Does anyone have any questions before I hit the road? Grady, you need anything? You got that. Well, the good thing about it is there's no other place where you can get as much done as what we can do here in Florida, and so to be able to do 3 more years is exciting, and I'm really happy to be able to be here working with you through it all. All right, God bless you all. Take care. We'll see ya. Thank you.